stop everything. Focus on these words right now. This moment is not a coincidence. You did not stumble here by accident. Not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Today, I ordered your steps to this exact breath because there is a narrow window where your response will determine your harvest. Beloved child, heaven scheduled this meeting to rescue your future from a sentence spoken in pain. Listen to me very carefully. The betrayal happened. I saw it all. The instinct to defend yourself, to gather proof, to correct the narrative, to raise your voice, that instinct is natural. But the instruction I am giving you is not natural. It is supernatural. Your silence is not a personality trait. Your silence is an assignment. It is a key I am placing in your hand. Discipline is your defense, and restraint is your evidence. I am interrupting you before you explain, before you text, before you call. Because if you speak from the wound, you don't clear your name. You contaminate your authority. The enemy is not only after your reputation, he is after your legal ground in the spirit. When you hold your peace at my command, you stand in the courtroom of heaven and you preserve jurisdiction for me to act. I do not need your performance. I need your position. You will learn how to stand without speech, what not to say when the heat is on, where to put the rage burning in your chest, and how I will respond when you refuse to audition for those who already chose to misunderstand you. I will show you why this silence is timed, how it accumulates favor, and how time, exposure, and fruit will speak for you more loudly than any argument you could craft. Agree with me now. Type this as your covenant. I will not explain myself. Say it out loud with steady breath. This is your divine appointment. Hold the line. Be still. I will defend you. Listen to me very carefully. The storm is real. Shock that steals your breath, humiliation that burns your cheeks, anger that rattles your bones, grief that makes the room go silent and the heart go loud, and underneath it all, that urgent ache to correct the story, to fix the narrative, to prove what really happened. I see your fingers hovering over the keyboard. I hear the speeches forming in your chest. But hear this warning. The trap after betrayal is conversation. The enemy is not only watching what they did to you, he is measuring what you will say next. His strategy is simple and ancient. Bait you into explaining, over-texting, over-posting, over-sharing, and even over-spiritualizing your pain. He wants you to narrate your wound in real time so he can edit it into a confession. When you speak too fast, you hand him your evidence. Frantic speech becomes self-sabotage. You reveal the tender places, your next move, your fears, your triggers, your tells. You time-stamp your pain. You create screenshots that will not heal you, but will be used to frame you. You give the betrayer leverage they didn't earn and access they should not have. You turn a private injury into public material, and you lower your own covering. Have you been rehearsing speeches in your head, drafting messages you keep rewriting and never sending, imagining the courtroom argument where you lay it all out and everyone finally understands? Have you watched the typing bubble and felt your pulse race? That is not just emotion. That is warfare pulling you from your watchtower into the street, from the judge's bench where I have seated you into the witness stand where they can cross-examine you. When you speak from the wound, you don't clear your name, you contaminate your authority. You break the chain of custody over your case and supply the prosecution with exhibits. Beloved child, step back. Breathe. Put the phone down. Close the tab. Do not testify for the wrong courtroom. Guard your mouth to guard your mandate. Your restraint is not silence for silence's sake. It is jurisdiction. Hold your peace, and let me hold the record. Listen to me very carefully. What is firing through your body right now is not madness. It is messaging, that tight chest. That is not anxiety strangling you. That is your spirit bracing your ribcage to keep a verdict inside your lungs until I release it. Those racing thoughts? That is not you spiraling. That is your spirit sprinting ahead to shut gates before your mouth can open one. Those sleepless hours. That is not insomnia. That is your night watch, your appointment with me when the noise is low and the training is high. The sudden appetite changes? That is not you falling apart. That is your system refusing to digest the bait they set for you. The shaking hands. That is not weakness. That is the forge, heat and hammer, where I am tempering your grip so you never clutch vengeance again. The stomach knots? That is not dread. That is your inner guard posting sentries at the door of your belly. Warning, do not feed this with words. Beloved child, hear the truth. You are not losing your mind. You are learning your mastery. What feels like panic is often the birth pain of restraint. Your spirit is taking the reins and beginning to govern your mouth. There is a civil war within you. Your soul demands justice now, explanation now, applause now. Your spirit demands alignment with my timing and my methods. Your soul wants a microphone. Your spirit wants a gavel. Choose the gavel. Disciplined silence is not suppression. It is containment. Suppression buries pain and breeds decay. Containment cups the flame until it purifies and powers you. You will process, but not in public, not in reaction, not in their courtroom. You will pour it out to me, to a trusted covering, to a page that will not betray you. You will cry in prayer, not perform in comments. You will breathe until the tremor becomes a testimony. Right now, place your hand over your chest and partner with me. Whisper this out loud, steady and slow. I can feel it, but I will not feed it with words. Again, I can feel it, but I will not feed it with words. Did you sense the shift? That is not denial. That is discipline. That is your spirit refusing to beg for understanding and choosing to stand under my defense. Listen to me very carefully. The betrayal was real. The wound is not imaginary, but the bait is the conversation. The enemy's pattern is predictable. Strike the blow, then stage the theater. Betrayal, then provocation, then a public narrative designed to force your mouth open. He does not merely want to hurt you. He wants to harvest your words. He wants you to leave your post and argue your way out of the protection I just placed around you. Here is the bait, as it often appears. Triangulation, whispers to mutuals so you feel compelled to clarify. Subtle accusations, half-true hints that smear your name without naming you. Vague social posts, cryptic captions that paint you as the villain while pretending to be above it. Mutual friend pressure. They're hurting, could you just call? The just tell your side trap so they can screenshot and splice your pain for proof. Fake reconciliation messages. Let's clear the air. Sent not to heal, but to lure you into a recorded confession. Even spiritualized manipulation. For unity's sake, explain yourself, when their goal is not unity, but content. Discern this, beloved child. Some people do not want clarity. They want content. They want your reaction as emotional supply. They want a flinch, a rant, a late-night paragraph that proves their storyline. See? Unstable, bitter, defensive. Do not give them what they came for. That urgency in your chest to respond? That is not righteous necessity. That is warfare trying to drag you from the judge's bench into a brawling pit. I saw the setup before they drafted it. I noted every meeting, every message, every mask. The size of this attack is confirmation of the size of your calling and the nearness of your elevation. But hear me, your victory is not to win the argument. Your victory is to pass the test of discipline. Hold your peace, preserve your legal ground, and let me argue the case. Stay out of the baited conversation, and stay in position for vindication. Listen to me very carefully. Silence is not passivity. Silence is not denial. Silence is not avoidance. Silence is not enabling. Silence is strategic obedience under a divine gag order. It is the refusal to argue in an atmosphere I did not authorize. It is you declining to attend a trial the enemy convened in a back alley when I have already scheduled a hearing in my court. When you keep your mouth, you keep your legal ground. When you let reckless words spill, those words become exhibits against you, timestamps, sound bites, fragments of pain that can be edited into guilt. Your silence is not empty. It is evidence preserved. It is you protecting the chain of custody of your case. Hear the paradox. The louder they speak, the more potent your restraint becomes. Their volume does not weaken you, it reveals them. Every new exaggeration, every embellished detail, every dramatic post, without your reaction, becomes a self-authored affidavit of motive. Your non-reaction is not indifference. It is cross-examination by time. It is oxygen deprivation to a fire set to consume you. Do not feed it. Let time, exposure, and fruit pull the curtain back. Learn the difference between explanation and testimony. Explanation seeks approval. It is performance for a jury that already decided. It panics for validation and spends authority like cheap currency. Testimony waits for timing. Testimony speaks when I open the floor and produces fruit that cannot be argued with. Explanation defends the self. Testimony displays the work. Explanation begs to be believed. Testimony stands because it cannot be denied. Beloved child, I am training you in courtroom discipline. Discipline is the engine of vindication. Every moment you choose quiet over quarrel, you are building a record I will use. Every time you swallow a sentence I did not author, you strengthen jurisdiction for me to act without obstruction. When you do not answer the smear campaign, you do not abandon the field. You hold the high ground. You make space for me to speak in a way no rebuttal could accomplish. Stand still in this. Guard your mouth to guard your mandate. Say, even now I yield my case to the judge. I will not argue where God has not called court. Stay clean, stay positioned. I will defend you. Listen to me very carefully. Vindication is often lost in one unguarded sentence. The snare is speed. The trap is impulse. So I will give you 7 sentences you must refuse, and the clean replacements that keep you in position. Do not say, "Let me explain." That phrase opens a forum I did not authorize. It invites debate, shifts you from witness to performer, and turns your pain into a negotiation. Use this instead. I won't discuss this right now. Short, calm, closed door. Do not say, "I can prove it." That vow makes them the judge and you the entertainment. It drag and drops your dignity into their gallery. Choose this. I'm not providing details. Let me handle evidence, you handle boundaries. Do not say, "After all I did for you." That ledger exposes your expectation and invites their contempt. It changes covenant into commerce. Replace it with, "I release you from me, and I release myself from this conversation." Do not say, "Everyone needs to know what you did." That is justice mutated into vengeance, and vengeance spreads contamination. Trade it for, "I'm taking space." Your space is a sanctuary. Let me be the broadcaster if I choose. Do not say, "I knew it." That is cynicism crowning itself prophet and partnering with accusation. It cements bitterness and forecloses mercy. Say, "I will not pronounce a verdict with my mouth." Do not say, "Tell me why." That question hands them the pen to write your closure. It invites manipulation and keeps you orbiting their gravity. Use, "No further dialogue is necessary." Do not say, "I'll forgive you if." That turns forgiveness into a contract and reopens access. I am closing. Choose, "I forgive and I'm unavailable." forgiveness pure, access guarded. Beloved child, breathe before you speak. Count to 9 if you must. Whisper to me before you answer them. Discipline begins with refusing the wrong words. These replacements are not weakness, they are gates. Keep your gate closed to chaos. Keep your record clean, your silence, your brevity, your boundaries. These are the instruments by which I preserve your legal ground and prepare your vindication. Listen to me very carefully. I know the fear that creeps in when you go quiet, the panic that a lie might harden into history if you don't correct it right now. I see that craving to set the record straight, to rescue your name from their mouths. Beloved child, that urge is understandable, but it is not your instruction. Your silence is not letting a lie win. It is letting the truth breathe. It is me preserving the record while you refuse to perform your pain for the wrong audience. You do not heal by speaking louder. You heal by placing your pain in the right place so it can be purified. Here is how you place it. First, bring it to me before anyone else. Speak to me raw, unedited, unpretty. Say the things you're afraid to say out loud. Cry if you must. I can handle the fire. Second, write it. Journal the truth exactly as you experienced it. Facts, feelings, impulses. Date it, sign it. Then close the book and put the pen down. You are creating a sealed archive, not a post. Third, if counsel is needed, select one safe voice, mature, boundaried, not hungry for gossip, not impressed by drama. One voice, not a thread, not a group chat. And even with that voice, speak measuredly and invite accountability. Help me guard my mouth. Establish containment hours. The next few hours after a trigger are sacred. No texting, no posting, no explaining, no venting. Breathe slowly, walk around the block, drink water, wash your face, take a shower, sit in quiet, put your phone in a drawer, pray in a whisper until your pulse listens. If sleep is possible, sleep. If not, stretch your body and let the heat drain. That surge you feel, that is not weakness, that is detox, your spirit refusing to be mastered by reaction. Let it pass through you without giving it a microphone. You are not an actor in their theater. You are a steward of your destiny. Agree with me right now and anchor your will. Type these words as covenant and say them out loud, steady and clear. I will process in private and walk in power. Did you feel that alignment? Hold this posture. Keep the fire on my altar, and I will turn it into light. Listen to me very carefully. Because you chose containment over performance, I will show you the mechanism of vindication. Discipline produces a track record. A track record produces credibility. Credibility attracts confirmation, first in heaven's court, then in the eyes of people who matter. Your restraint is not empty space. It is a documented history. Every time you refuse to explain, a line was added to your record. Every unposted paragraph, every unsent text, every quiet boundary, those are receipts. I will use them. First, the character proof. Your consistent restraint will become visible. People who were waiting for your meltdown will find your measuredness. Those who expected messy will meet steady. Those who called you unstable will meet your quiet stamina. Watch. Colleagues will say, they never fed the drama. Leaders will note, they held their position. Friends who wavered will whisper, something about their peace makes me question the story. You will not have to announce the truth. Your consistency will carry it. Second, the exposure proof. When you stop covering with your words, time exposes motives without your chase. Contradictions will surface, stories that do not align, timelines that do not match, alliances that shift under their own weight. Screenshots meant to trap you will reveal orchestration. Masks will slip when there is no reaction to feed them. I will cause people who enabled the narrative to experience fatigue with the performance. They will step back, and in the silence I mandated, patterns will echo by themselves. You will not need to hunt. Exposure will find its own stage. Third, the fruit proof. I bless alignment. Doors will open without applications you would have begged for last season. Peace will return to your mornings. Creativity will flow. Endorsements will appear you did not network for. The work of your hands will prosper. Favor will gather. Your life will become the argument. Their noise will sound smaller against the largeness of what I am building with you. This is not hype, it is process. Discipline creates the receipts I use. Time, fruit, and exposure will speak for you. Beloved child, agree with me now. My discipline is producing my receipts. Say it out loud. As you hold this posture, know this. Your vindication is not merely personal, it is generational. Your restraint is teaching your bloodline a new language under pressure, rewriting how your children and their children respond to disrespect. Stay clean. Stay consistent. The record is building, and I am already turning the pages in your favor. Listen to me very carefully. This is larger than your name. This is larger than this moment. Your house is in session, and your children, born and unborn, literal and spiritual, are studying your response to disrespect. They are memorizing your mouth. They are learning how to handle betrayal from the cadence of your breathing, the pace of your replies, the words you do not say. If you yield to the trap, you do not only bruise your own authority, you draft a family script that will play on repeat in your grandchildren. I am here to break cycles, gossip as coping, rage as power, silent resentment that poisons the table, public shaming dressed up as telling the truth, a victim identity that gathers sympathy but forfeits stature, retaliation disguised as justice. These are not just habits. These are inheritances masquerading as instinct. Beloved child, I am cutting them off today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, the pattern stops with you. I am setting you apart as a different kind of responder. Calm strength that does not need an audience. Boundaries that do not need permission. Clean hands that do not strike back. A clean mouth that does not leak pain for applause. Your restraint is becoming culture. Your courtroom discipline is becoming family language. Hear the phrases I am planting in your home. We do not chase closure. We do not beg to be understood. We do not trade dignity for temporary relief. We feel deeply and we respond slowly. We forgive freely and we keep wise distance. We tell the truth to God and we let time tell the story to people. We do not light fires to prove we were burned. This is how lineage shifts. One parent swallows one sentence, one guardian closes one tab, one leader chooses one quiet again and again until peace becomes the default and honor becomes the reflex. Angels have already been dispatched to reinforce this new language in your house. I will teach your children through your restraint that justice is my job and dignity is theirs to keep. In a moment, you will seal this with your voice. You will declare a covenant of silent strength and invite me to take the case. Prepare your mouth. I am writing your family's new script, and you will speak the opening line. Listen to me very carefully. Slow everything down. Unclench your hands. Drop your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, I am here. This next part is not optional. It is activation. Your voice is a key, and agreement is the turn. Do not whisper excuses in your mind. Speak out loud. Heaven records voice prints. Open your mouth and declare with me now. Say this: I yield my case to God. I refuse the need to explain. I renounce retaliation in every form. Speeches, screenshots, sarcasm, subtweets, and whispered campaigns. I choose the discipline of silence as worship and as witness. Guard my lips, O God. Place a watch over my mouth. Let no unassigned word exit my tongue. Say this: I revoke the enemy's access to my emotions. I break consent with panic, with people-pleasing, with urgency that is not from God. I cancel every baited conversation. I decline every trap titled clarity. I sever every line that fishes for my reaction. By obedience, I reclaim legal ground I surrendered through rash speech. I retract every unauthorized statement, and I close every door opened by heat and haste. Say this: God, take the case. Be my advocate, my judge, and my defense. Argue where I will not. Expose what I cannot. Establish what only you can. Restore my peace. Return order to my sleep. Steady my breath. Thicken my boundaries. Crown my head with quiet strength. Send angels to enforce this decree and cancel backlash, ricochet, retaliation, and counter-accusation in the spirit and in the natural. I receive the fruit of restraint, time, exposure, and harvest speaking for me. Now pause, breathe, check your body, feel your jaw unclench, your shoulders soften, your pulse slow, the heaviness lifting like fog in sunlight. Did you feel that? That is not imagination. That is jurisdiction shifting. Finish with this: I return to my watchtower. I will not answer bait. I will not break rank. My record is clean. My ground is secured. My case is in God's hands. It is done. Amen. Listen to me very carefully. The next 72 hours are a guardrail, a greenhouse, and a gate. Vindication is protected in this window. Discipline now prevents the damage you can't easily undo later. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. I am giving you a plan that is urgent and doable, and if you follow it, you will feel peace thicken around you and favor accelerate toward you. First, no explanatory messages. None. No, let me just say this one thing. If it requires you to prove, plead, or perform, it is not my instruction for you right now. Second, no social media subtweets or vague posts. Do not narrate pain in code. Do not like, comment, or watch bait. Scroll past. Third, document facts privately. Write the timeline. Save what is necessary. Date it, then close the file. Do not send it. Fourth, tighten access. Block, mute, unfollow. Remove from close friends. Leave the thread. Step back from shared spaces. Boundary without speech. Discipline is action, not explanation. Fifth, keep routines steady. Eat on time. Hydrate. Sleep. Move your body. Keep your prayer watch and your work cadence. Stability is your shield. Here is the rhythm. Hours 0 to 24. Shut the doors. Put devices on Do Not Disturb during trigger hours. No replies, no clarifications, no one last text. If a message arrives, archive it and breathe. Hours 24 to 48. Record privately. Organize notes. Speak to me and, if needed, one safe counsel who will help you guard your mouth. Hours 48 to 72. Build fruit. Do excellent work. Serve quietly. Keep promises. Let productivity turn the lights on while their theater goes dim. You may still feel waves, a spike in the chest, heat in the face, the itch to check. That is not relapse. That is the flesh-craving expression. Hold the line. When the surge comes, pause and ask 3 questions. Does this make me prove? Does this make me plead? Does this make me perform? If yes to any, the answer is no. Step away. Breathe. Whisper, I won't feed this with words, and return to your assignment. Beloved child, angels have already been dispatched to enforce these boundaries. As you protect your peace, I will accelerate favor. Emails answered, doors nudged open, help arriving without you campaigning. Comment, I will hold the line, and share this within the next hour as agreement. Your case is in my hands, and your next 72 hours are your hedge. Stay clean, stay steady, I will defend you. Listen to me very carefully. When I vindicate you, it will not be a noisy parade. It will be a steady unveiling. You will notice it in small, holy shifts. A text that begins, "I've been thinking. I'm sorry." A colleague who once avoided you now says, "I misread the situation." A closed door emails you, "Position reopened." Invitations appear without you campaigning. Rumors begin to starve because you refused to feed them. A thread that once swelled with insinuation falls silent as contradictions surface on their own. Someone you never expected will pull you aside and whisper, "I need to be honest. I added to it." Masks will slip quietly. Timelines will tangle without your hands. Opportunities once withheld will circle back and request you by name. You will feel it inside first. Sleep will return to you like a friend. Your chest will stop announcing alarms that are no longer necessary. The names that once spiked your pulse will lose their voltage. Rooms that felt dangerous will become uneventful. Peace will become your public proof. New alliances will seek you out and say, "I watched your restraint." Helpers will appear who were observing in silence, waiting to attach to maturity. Your life will outspeak their narrative, and your fruit will outlast their performance. But hear me. Do not gloat. Do not post a victory lap caption disguised as praise. Do not collect apologies like trophies or screenshot repentance as content. Return honor where you can. Return boundaries where you must. And return no weapon at all. Keep your hands clean so the blessing stays. Gratitude, not grandstanding. Mercy, not memes. Let me write the headline and decide the audience. You keep building. You are not forgotten. Heaven recorded every tear, numbered every breath you steadied, archived every unsent message. The shift began the moment you chose restraint. Angels have already been dispatched. This is a narrow window. Do not trade eternal vindication for temporary relief. Hold the line and let discipline finish its work. If this word is yours, seal it with action. Type, "Amen. I will let God defend me." Like this, subscribe and share it within the next hour as agreement that you will stay clean and stay positioned. Your vindication will speak louder than your defense. Stay disciplined. Let me complete what I started.